Hello and welcome to another episode of WolfeSound podcast. I haven't recorded anything for a while because I had a hell of a 3 months beginning of the year. Today, I want to talk about money and hopefully we will get more comfortable talking about money. I know I haven't in the past, and so I was always undervalued in my work because I just had a big issue discussing my value and what I bring to the table. And I'm sure a lot of you are. So I will share today what I learned about it, talking to people that have already succeeded and people that talk about wealth that goes way beyond money and the spirituality of it as well. So that hopefully you can finally get what you deserve and not let people bully you out of your rates or your state of being. So we're going to talk about two aspects: the monetary income, but also the wealth energy that you bring into your life and your abundance. So here's what I believe: when people feel better, they do better. Because a lot of people say when you know better, you do better. But how often have we known better and didn't really do better? A lot of people also, when they feel anger as their home emotion, they're always angry or upset or depressed. When we are in this state of mind, it's almost impossible to do better, even if we know better. So when people feel better, they do better. So to be wealthy, you need to set joy as your home emotion. And it is increasingly difficult, obviously, because of the state of the world right now. A lot of people are always complaining about whether it's inflation, whether it's negative and toxic relationships, our own toxic thoughts and behaviors, because it's not always about other people. So we need to start being accountable to our own behaviors. And when we remove the toxicity from ourselves, then we're going to also repel it from the external world, whether it's in our relationships or in our work environments and the way we communicate with the world at large. And also the environment plays a huge role. So let's dive in. Abundance cannot coexist with the ungrateful, the pessimistic, or the resentful or envious heart. A lot of times people say they want to afford things and they want to be happy and abundant and all of that. But meanwhile, they don't pay attention to their tendency to envy others. Envy is such a horrible emotion. I noticed lately in a lot, sometimes I read comments under certain videos, and when, for example, a wealthy person, financially wealthy person goes into trouble, a lot of people say, oh, it serves them right, it's just a rich, stupid person or whatever. And this stems from envy. Envy is the feeling of wanting to is wanting for the other person to lose what they have, even if the envious person doesn't get it themselves, which doesn't serve anybody. So when we are ungrateful, we don't attract abundance. We cannot attract more abundance if we're ungrateful for what we're already having. Is to celebrate the little progress that we make every day, the things that we receive, to notice the gifts that we receive. If we have a roof over our head, if we can eat, if we have skills, if we have access to increase our skills and strengthen ourselves, if we have even one friend, if we have a family, like, we don't notice these things anymore. And if we're not grateful for the little things, the universe will not send you more things because you're still going to be ungrateful. So it has to start inside. And this is beyond cliche. It's actually, this is how it works. Being pessimistic doesn't help at all, because in order to achieve something, we have to visualize it, see it happen. We have to be able to be comfortable in our imagination, our wishes, and to see the end result that we want in order to get it. It's like athletes. They see themselves getting the score before they even hit the field. You have to see it in your mind's eye first. So if you're pessimistic, it can often become a self-fulfilling prophecy. So again, a lot of us, as for some reason, we have a tendency as a collective to be self-destructive and to be pessimistic. And I can't necessarily blame anyone for feeling this way, because it really isn't so easy to be optimistic when the world is giving you every reason to be pessimistic. But we might as well be optimistic and create that vision that we want and reach for it. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. At least we've done our best. So I like to stay hopeful and optimistic, because this allows me the space to create something and to also be grateful and be too busy to look at somebody else, what somebody else has. Who cares what somebody else has anyway? And I don't want them to lose what they have, and I don't care how much they have. The idea is for you to find your own purpose and to find your joy. So here's the thing. You cannot attract good things unless you connect with joy. Someone who uses negative pressure, for example, to be joyful, you need to be in a good environment. So sometimes you're in a position where people try to pressure you or abuse you even to do better. This idea of punishing each other when we make mistakes kind of invites more mistakes, because if we are stressed and anxious or fearful, we definitely cannot make good decisions. When we're angry and resentful, we cannot make good decisions. When was the last time you were angry and you made a good decision? And it's very challenging to actually be patient through the anger and not act on impulse, but you will not get any good decision out of it. So don't wait until you're angry to force yourself to be patient before you act in a stupid way, because we all do that. But practice every day so that when you do get angry, because it will happen with human beings, you already know how to actually be patient. Your patience can outpower that anger or outpower the anxiety and the stress. So it's a daily practice. Okay, so when someone pressures another person into doing something better, or to work harder, or to behave in a better way, or to comply with whatever, force never works. It only works temporarily. It can work temporarily because the person is scared, but it's not going to have any long-term positive impact at all. And there's no way, even if you modify someone's behavior that they do a bit better because you pressured them into it, imagine what they can do if they feel more embraced and guided in a kind manner. So even if you think the result is good that came out of the pressure, they're going to do a million times better if you do it in a more positive and like positive reinforcement kind of way. So wealth isn't just money. It's a state of being, it's a state of mind, and the environment and your perceptions, the environment of like the way you think about money and the way you view it and the environment you're in, whether it's positive and encouraging and hopeful, or you're in an environment where people are always complaining and bombarding you with what the news says and what inflation is going to be and all these things, it's going to make a huge difference whether you attract abundance or repel it. So here is a blueprint on how to lean into joy and attract abundance by shedding everything that has been blocking it all along. And we all have these blockages. So I will do my best to help you pinpoint what's blocking you, and how to sit better and be more receptive to abundance on every level. So first thing is correcting the main false beliefs associated with wealth, money, and abundance. As I said, abundance and wealth go far beyond money, but let's start with some false beliefs. Money is the root of all evil. No, money cannot be the root of anything. Actually, it's a tool. Money is just a tool for you to facilitate a good life and to have security in your life and to also do what you want to do. So the root of evil is greed. It's not money itself. It's how you use money. If people are envious of somebody else's money, if people commit crimes to have somebody else's money, if somebody is conning you, if somebody is trying to extract value from you and not wanting to pay you for it, all these things, that's greed. And that's where the evil begins to form. But money in itself is a tool. It's also a tool for joy by way of buying you food, medication that you might need, any health-related things that you need to purchase. You can travel with money, you can feed your loved ones, you can have fun, you can buy new clothes, you can do a lot with money. You can invest in a business that is actually going to add value to the world, not just for yourself. So money is a tool, and how you use it can determine whether it's evil or not. So it's not the money itself. The second one is money can't buy you happiness. I just covered that. Actually, it can buy you everything that makes you happy. In terms of time, it can buy you time. It can buy you going to see new countries. It can buy you going out with friends, being able to afford going out, being able to discover new places, be able to sit and create something without worrying too much about going hungry because you're a creative person. Now you have the third one is you have to work hard to have money. I believe in working smart. I also do believe in working hard, but not working hard in the sense that I'm just running myself ragged just to have more money. It's about putting love and joy into the work that I'm doing. I enjoy the process and doing what I have to do to finish the job. But at the same time, I believe in working smart. You don't have to do the traditional way of it's just like in companies with a 9 to 5, you have to be there for the 8 hours. And a lot of times people don't even do half the productivity they're supposed to do because the main concern is whether I'm there or not. What counts is how you complete the work and put it in clusters, having your list and your priority list and completing that. This is working smart, and also knowing which tasks just are a waste of time. So working smart is definitely not a bad thing. Number 4, rich people are evil. I don't know how that would work because there are evil wealthy people and evil poor people and evil middle class people. You cannot just generalize that anybody who has money is evil or anybody who's poor is evil. It doesn't work this way. Either somebody behaves in evil ways and somebody else who doesn't. It's completely irrelevant what they have. So how do we set ourselves up for abundance and wealth? First, we have to eliminate all these aforementioned false beliefs or others that you may have that I have not mentioned. Feel free to share them in the comments as well. Maybe we can address it in the future. So wealth, because it's not about money, what it is about is the feeling of genuine gratitude. We have to feel genuinely grateful. We have inner peace and joy. And even when we are depressed or sad, or life happens as it will, and we meet challenges, it really is how we look at it. We can be feeling very down, or even grieving, if we're going through something really challenging to deal with emotionally. At least the way we approach it is that take it as an opportunity to love ourselves, to take care of ourselves, to accept our emotions as they are and process them, and also feel grateful. And there is a certain sense of joy in also in these moments, the joy of just paying attention to our inner world and how we feel, and having this opportunity to hold space for ourselves. It grief, and God knows I've been through all kinds of grief. So I am speaking from experience as well in this department. I'm not somebody who's just having an easy life. And I know some people are going to say it's easier said than done. This is also a very negative mindset. Yeah, everything is easier said than done, but it's also so much easier done than not being processed or rejected or not working on it. So it's okay if it's easier said than done. It doesn't make it impossible. Another emotion that we need to connect with is love. And I'm not talking about romantic love. I'm talking about loving what we have and loving what we do. If we don't have love for what we do, we cannot expect something beautiful to come out of it. So find what you love. And even if you find yourself in a position where you have to do work that you don't necessarily love, work towards finding something that you actually do love. And maybe find, sometimes when I have to do something that I'm not interested in, I find something beautiful in it, because there's always something and this is where the creativity comes in. How can I look at something differently and learn to love it? Because there's something interesting about everything. A curious mind will keep you excited and motivated to learn more and focus on how do I make this so interesting, and that way it becomes a game. It gives you a sense of joy and entertainment, and maybe eventually leads you to loving that process, until you find something that you naturally love, and that's what you go and do. So if you love something, the abundance will definitely follow. The abundance of feeling content with your life. This is the beginning of abundance, the contentment, the gratitude, and the joy. If you're unhappy, the results of your whole life will be very poor. It can't be a good life if you're feeding that unhappiness, focusing on what you hate and what you don't like and what you don't have. It's up to you. This is up to you. And if you express hatred for money instead of loving and respecting it, you will lose it even if you do have it. You know, it is more than okay to love money and more than okay to respect it. Actually, you have to respect it. If you want it to respect you, you have to become that person where money is safe to be with. It's okay to want money. It's okay to love money. It's okay to respect money. Because if you don't respect money, it will not stay with you. It might not come to you, and if it comes, it will not stay. The world works with money. This is the reality we live in. Obviously, I prefer to live in a world where money doesn't exist, no borders exist, everybody can go to any country they want. We don't have to keep spending just to live like the trees and the animals. But the reality is we need money to actually fulfill our purpose. We need to give value to other people through our work, through our presence, through our mindset. So why would you feel shame for wanting money. And this energy of shame is exactly what's blocking it from entering your life. And a lot of times, rich people, a rich person will teach you how they got it, and you will see a lot of harmony in their mindset. And poor people have a scarcity mentality. And some rich people have also a scarcity mentality, by the way, because they view money as power. And to give you some of their money, it means they're giving you power. And what they value here is not the money itself, it's the power that comes with it. And some people who do have it don't want to make you feel powerful so that they can continue to dictate what you do and what you don't do. It's kind of like a lot of places of employment use that. A lot of clients who can clearly afford you, they will negotiate with you. And meanwhile, somebody who can't afford you comes to you when they save enough to use your services. So you have to discern how the person you're dealing with is looking at money and wealth and abundance, right? How do you feel about it? How do you feel about yourself? Do you value yourself, or do you devalue yourself? Now, you have to remember that people don't pay you just for your time. They pay you for the time spent, plus the energy, plus the experience, plus the overall value and the bottom line that you give. So it's not an hourly rate kind of thing. You have to rate yourself based on your value. But you have to remember that you do the exact same thing for non-monetary things. Your time is valuable. Don't spend it with people that want to crush you, or people that want to stomp all over your dreams, or people that make fun of you, or people that don't support you. Don't be in an environment that devalues you. That's another way of knowing your value. So here are 7 things that impact emotions and your overall quality of life. First, your thoughts. How do you think of yourself and of your life and of life in general every day? Do you see it as a hostile place, or do you see it as a peaceful place? And I know it's kind of a trick question, because we are bombarded with these news of wars and abuse and murder and friends betraying each other and all of these things. But I also know for a fact that they are not the majority. This is not the majority events. There are a lot of good people out there. The life can be very beautiful, and it is very beautiful. But it's up to you. Where do you spend your time? That's the question. The environment is responsible, it is said, for 30% of the quality of your life. So if you're in a country with a crap environment and you're not able to leave it yet, create your own environment within that. Connect with the aspects that are empowering and beautiful about it until you can leave altogether. But you can also control the environment by your circle. Who are your friends? Who do you call friends? It's so easy to call somebody a friend. Oh, that's just my friend. No, are they somebody who stood the test of time, who were there for you when you needed them? Are they somebody who never gossips behind your back? Is it somebody that stays silent when you do something good? Is it somebody that makes you feel shame when you make a mistake? So your environment is very important, and be very careful who you call a friend, who you call family. It's not just biological. Who's your family? Even if it's a soul family. Family who has your back, somebody who loves you no matter what. Family is somebody who believes in you and supports you and embraces you and move past the mistakes, and because we all make them. That's family. Number three, number four, what you consume is very important. The food you eat, some food will make you lethargic and tired or depressed, and some food will give you energy and happiness, especially things that are actually good for your body. You need that energy. The entertainment that you consume. Are you listening to the news first thing in the morning or before bed? Do you watch the news at all? Are you addicted to the news and to the drama and the fear mongering media? Are you listening to music that is not harmonious with our natural flow of our heartbeats, the universe? Some music can really trigger disharmony inside our minds and our spirits. Some music makes us depressed. Are you hooked on that? Are you engaging in gossip or allowing gossip to be around you? People who have nothing better to do but to discuss other people and to put down other people, who in turn will actually put you down and gossip about you just the same. It's tremendous waste of time. You cannot get time back. And if you become that person that is spending, let's say you're spending 5 hours gossiping and putting other people down. Imagine what you could do in 5 hours in terms of creativity, in terms of going somewhere very beautiful, in terms of meeting maybe the right people by going to nicer places, a healthier environment, or learn something or add to your skills. And 5 hours is actually a fraction of what people spend on time-wasting conversations or discussing all the bad things that is happening in the world. How do you expect to create something amazing when all you do is focus on what's going wrong in the world, right? Number five, telling everyone your plans and your dreams. I believe that the moment we share something before it happens interferes with its manifestation. What's the point of sharing your future plans and your dreams and set yourself up with people that dismiss it or talk you out of it or ridicule it, or people that send you envious energy, which is very powerful. It's powerful enough to just destroy everything you're doing. Or what if you mention it to others, and because they're jealous of it or resentful of it, they go and ruin it for you by slandering you or with whatever, or finding a way to put dents in your plan. You don't know what is embedded in people's hearts. So it's important, first of all, even when you share it with a good person, somebody who's actually a very good friend, the only reason I would share is to get their feedback and their guidance. But these are people I know for sure. They genuinely care and they've always supported me, and they don't wish me anything other than the best. Other than that, I would catch myself sharing ahead of time because my ego wants that validation. And that's not a good reason to. You have to protect your dreams and your hopes and your goals. These are sacred spaces. So don't taint them with other people's energy, and just share when it's done, right? The number 6, choosing the wrong partner. If you choose who you marry or who you date is extremely important for the quality of your life and your emotions, because relationships trigger in us the deepest emotional buttons that we have had since childhood. Even when we work on ourselves and we heal and stuff, if you're with a partner that is abusive or dismissive or just overly jealous and is suffocating you, or somebody who is very negative, or somebody who doesn't believe in creating something new, somebody who is stuck in the mud, or somebody who's boring, the partner that you're with can make or break your life. Definitely abuse is the most obvious. There's no way you can create anything of your life in an abusive relationship. And on top of that, it's highly addictive. There's Stockholm syndrome. You find yourself, that's why people don't easily leave. They get stuck for too long, if not forever. And on top of that, they get judged by society that doesn't know anything about being in an abusive relationship. And there's also subtle abuse, where it's just gaslighting and manipulation and emotional blackmail and all of these things. How can you sit and be productive or have joy in your life that will attract abundance and wealth and peace when you're in this environment? So you have to be very, very careful, because the connection that we create with somebody in a romantic relationship, it has its most control over us on how we feel. Falling in love is not the same as rising in love. It's not being loving and sharing, having a life partner feels good. You make each other's lives feel better. You support each other. You add value to each other. You give respect and freedom and trust to each other. It's not a war zone. It's not addiction. So it's very important to think about these things and know the red flags before you even step in. And I'm sure all of you already know the red flags. Number 7, your daily habits. Here's some daily habits that really help correct our mindset, okay? First thing in the morning, how do you wake up? Do you wake up grumpy and whatever? Do you turn on the news? Or do you wake up with peace and joy and you make your coffee and start your day on the right foot? So what I like to do is that I love waking up early. I don't always do that, but I like to wake up early. And the first thing I do is obviously say hello to the dogs, make coffee, write down my gratitude list, my I am sentences. I write everything I'm grateful for, and write I am sentences that are positive. I am abundance, I am peace, I am love, etc. And I also set my intentions for the day. How do I want to feel? How do I want to be, my state of being? What I need to do for the day, the things that I need to push aside because they're not a priority, stuff like that. And once I'm done with that and I play some music or read something inspiring, it sets me up for a good start of a day. And then I go for a walk. Moving the body helps process a lot of stuff. And then the world can start to come in, whether it's I sit and do my own work or tend to my clients if they need something. And then, of course, I end the day early. Like, basically, I don't communicate with anybody outside of my home for the first 2 hours after waking up, and definitely not at least 2 hours before I sleep. This is interference, and I'm very strict with not having any interference, because you need that time to connect with yourself, right? On every level. Now, we need to fix the relationship with money. So to fix the relationship, like I said, eliminate all the false beliefs, love and respect it, be the safe environment for money, give it. If you hoard money, first of all, you have to take care of yourself first. Make sure that your basic needs are met, that you have savings in case of emergencies, and you have some for your little wants and joys in life. And then you can overflow, and whatever overflows you can give away without expecting it back. And when you give it by way of buying things or way of donating or way of helping somebody else or whatever, it helps the healthy cycle of the flow of money. We need to let it flow. Hoarding it does not increase it at all. So we don't want to hoard it, and we also don't want to dismiss it and give it away without any kind of respect for it. Okay, it's okay you have to be full first. You have to take care of yourself first. Just like on the plane, you put your oxygen mask first and then you tend to other people. If you don't, you're both dead. It's as simple as that. Okay. Here's some, I want to share some crazy things that people say in order to rob you out of your money when you're offering a service. Okay. You have other clients. What is that? You have other clients. They want to pay you less because you have other clients. They're not the only clients. So your income should be fine. This is complete bullshit, and it's completely irrelevant. You can have 1 million clients. That would be none of my business. If I'm one of your clients, I cannot look at your other clients and say, oh, so you're doing well, so I could pay less. It's ridiculous. I'm getting value from you. That means I'm paying for that value. It doesn't matter if I'm your only client or if you have millions of clients. It's completely irrelevant. So that's ridiculous. And know that people only say these stupid things just to save on their own money. When they say you're too expensive. Okay, maybe too expensive for this particular person, but it's not too expensive as this is your value. Don't let people determine whether you're too expensive or not. If you look at the value that you offer and rate it accordingly, feel free to give discounts or to give whatever. And it's okay for someone to say, it's too expensive for me. I can't afford you right now. So it's your choice to either give them an offer because you want to work with them or you love their business or whether you want to collaborate with them, or you say, okay, I'm sorry, when you can afford it, I'm here. But don't let somebody say, oh, you're too expensive, as though you're asking for too much. They came to you for a reason. And if they can't afford you, they can find somebody else who will let them pay much less. And who knows, you get what you pay for. Maybe they will get a much lesser quality. So let them decide that for themselves. But don't let them decide for you what your value is. Okay? This one is very crazy. And somebody told me this before. You're already rich. You don't need the money. First of all, I wasn't already rich. They were referring to one of my parents, and I didn't have access to their riches anyway. And even if I did, here's the trick. Even if I was a billionaire, I still did the work. And when you do the work, you get paid for it. Again, it doesn't matter the size of your bank account. You can't. I was actually on a shoot for a TV series, and I worked like 18 hours a day for 3 months, only to be told, "Oh, you don't need the money." How do they know that? The world was very tricky at the time. I didn't have anything, but it was tricky because if you communicate that with the world, somehow they devalue you or they look down on you. But if you project that like something the opposite, they say, okay, you don't need it. People will always find dumb ways to rob you out of your earnings. So that was one of the most ridiculous statements I've ever heard. Another one is they calculate, for example, how many clients you have. Like, for example, like I saw this in a coaching setting. If, for example, let's say you charge, every student has to pay $1,000, or let's say $100 a month for the class, okay? And then a student would count, oh my God, this person has 25 students. So they calculate how much you're making out of teaching that class, just because they don't want to pay the full amount. Or they say, oh my God, you're getting all this money. No, you're receiving, again, you're receiving value, and against that value, you're paying $100 a month. It's very bizarre. And then some people will get angry at you for sharing your rates. It's as if you stole their kidney or something, even if your rates are not that high. But they will get angry at you because you didn't share rates that are equivalent to peanuts, basically. You sense that subconsciously. I think it happens subconsciously. I don't think people do that on purpose. It's their own fear talking. If you say, I am worth $50 an hour, for example, to do like design work, $50 an hour, and this is your rate. This is your rate because of your experience and whatever. And the person would just they rage at the number. How, like, it's as though saying, how dare you? Who do you think you are? Instead of saying, oh, okay, this is the value I'm getting. It is worth that. I just can't afford it. Or I'd rather not pay that. Can we work something out? Can we have a payment plan? No, like they just rage at you. And in turn, a lot of times they end up slandering you to other people. And if they tell the world, oh my God, that person is too expensive, and nobody comes to you, they block people from coming to you. Maybe you're not too expensive for that other client that they know. How do they know that? So the slandering and the anger and all of that, recognize these people early. I just want to say the best lesson I ever received, okay, one of the best ones, was from Chris Voss, who said, no deal is a lot better than a bad deal, because a bad deal costs you a lot more in the long run. Let's say you have your value, somebody slashed it and gave you 25% of it, and they slave you to do this project. And then next thing you know, this has become your official value to the world. You're telling people that you're not worth that much, and that client doesn't even respect you in the process. And the work is, you start to feel resentful because you're doing so much great work for nothing. So you start to be angry with yourself, and then you try to set boundaries, but you do it in a wrong way because you're already angry. And then you lose the client, and then you feel like it's a very bad cycle. It adds to your anxiety, your stress levels. It does not give you any sense of joy or accomplishment or peace. And then you're going to meet another client, and you're going to be extra hyper vigilant in how you deal with each other, that you might repel that person because the way you're communicating is, again, out of fear and past negative experience, rather than focusing on that new client and making the deal right. it has a lot more negative repercussions to be underpaid, not just for you, but for the client themselves. Because you're not going to do the work for them with joy. You're not going to give them your best. No way you're going to give them your best, because you're not at your best. So the end result of the value they get, it's shit. They might like it because maybe you're talented and whatever, but soon enough, it will be obvious that this was a very bad result for everybody involved. And in turn, the client will make less money and less revenue, and not going to be as attractive, for example, on social media as a business. They will not stand out because of the behind the scenes toxicity that's going on. Okay. Now, to finish this, know your value and stick to it. If you don't, the world will continue to devalue you. Communicate your value, needs, and why you are essential, and the right clients will come to you, and you will end up weeding out all the ones that will just waste your time and just make you feel bad every day. Okay. Money is a tool. It's a great tool to take care of yourself and your loved ones, and you're gonna have more space to create more value for the world at large. I hope this helped, and I will record more often because I love this, and I want to hear from you. I want to hear your feedback. This is J.S. Wolfe. I'm an author, podcaster, content creator, and my company's name is WolfeSound. You can follow me on Instagram or subscribe to YouTube, because I'm kind of new. And if you like the content, please share it. And I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.